It is time to discuss the top 10 books of 2023. Let's roll it. Welcome back, Boat Dragons. I'm really glad you're here with me today. This is a video I'm sure you have been waiting a long time for. And if it isn't, you're getting it anyway. We're going to be talking about my top 10 books of 2023, and I can't wait for you to hear what they are. I'm also going to discuss how I made out with my Goodreads goal for the year, so we're going to start with that, and then we'll get to my top 10 book list, okay? So I had set a goal to read 60 books for 2023 on Goodreads. I blew way past that. I read 73 books, and so it seems like I should move up my goal next year. If you watched my planning video for 2024, you know that's not going to happen. I'm going to have a lower goal, but if you want to know more about that, you can go watch that video. But I'm really proud to say how much I accomplished this year with reading, and I read some really awesome books. I really only use Goodreads to keep track of my reading progress, so I'm not going to go into stats or anything like that. I'm not really a guy who does stats. I like watching other people's stats, but I don't really do stats myself. So all you need to know is that I hit 73 books read for the year out of a goal of 60. So that's pretty good. So now let's go ahead and take a look at my top 10 books for the year. And I'm going to start with a ground rule. The first rule is no rereads. I did have some rereads this year. I'm not counting those. These are all books that are new to me for this year. Also, I have a rule that if I read a trilogy this year and I want to put those on the list, I can only pick one out of that trilogy to put on the list. So, because of that, I have an honorable mention. This is an honorable mention because I could not pick which book I liked the best in this trilogy. So I'm just throwing it up there as my favorite series of the year, and that is the Live Ship Traders series by Robin Hobb. There was not one book in that trilogy that I disliked. There was not one book in that trilogy that I liked better than the others, really, because it's one cohesive story. I couldn't really pick. So I'm just throwing it on there as an honorable mention. I hope you're okay with that. If you're not, well, I guess that's too bad. So I'm going to put my eyes on here and we're going to get to my top 10 list. Starting with Peace Talks and Battleground. These are the final two books in the Dresden Files series. The reason I put them both in this slot is because they are technically one book. He meant them to be one book. The publisher divided them up. And you can tell they divided them up. They're really meant to be read together. So I counted it as one story and it goes in my top 10 slot. It was just absolutely fantastic. And I am just itching for more Dresden. I'm itching for more Dresden, guys. If we get a new Dresden book in 2024, I will be dropping everything to read that because I need more Dresden in my life. That's just how it is, okay? So that's number 10. Coming in number 9 is The Farthest Shore. That is book 3 in the Earthsea cycle by Ursula K. Le Guin. I started and finished the Earthsea cycle this year and absolutely loved it. I really enjoyed my time in that world, and The Farthest Shore is by far my favorite of the series. Just a fantastic, beautiful book, thoughtful, thought-provoking, it was everything I wanted in a book and a fantastic read. So all of Earthsea is excellent. I highly recommend you check it out, but Farthest Shore is my pick for the series. Coming in at number 8 is The Way of Edan by Philip Chase. I am so impressed with Philip Chase's trilogy. Just such a great story, and even though The Prophet of Edan and Return to Edan are great books, The Way of Edan still sticks out in my mind as the best book in the series. I really could not find any flaws with that first book, and that's impressive to say for a first book. So kudos to you, Philip. You really cranked out a winner with that series, especially the first book, and that is in my number 8 slot. Coming in at number 7 is The Alloy of Law by Brandon Sanderson. This is the first book in Mistborn Era 2. And guys, I was so impressed with this book. It was far better for me than any of the original Mistborn Era 1. It was such a blast. Just the banter between Wax and Wayne. The buddy cop motif was played out really well. I'm not really interested in Flintlock fantasy, but this just worked for me. It was a wonderful, wonderful book, and I'm excited to read more. I will be reading the next book in January. I can't wait. But Alloy of Law was a winner, guys. Such a great book. Highly recommend Mistborn Era 2. If you were kind of iffy on Mistborn Era 1, you weren't sure if you wanted to continue, do it, guys. Do it. It's well worth your time to check out that first book at least. Coming in at number 6 is Kings of the Wild by Nicholas Ames. Wow, guys. I love some good rock and roll. I love some classic sword and sorcery. I love some good fellowship action, going on a quest to try and rescue the people you love. It has so many elements that I just really love, all mashed up together. And the allusions to 70s and 80s rock bands I thought was just fantastic. So I had such a great time with that book. I hope you will check it out as well if you have not. It's so deserving of being in my top 10 list. The next book on this list, coming in at number 5, is Legends and Lattes by Travis Baldree. Guys, Legends and Lattes was just such a fun, cozy, heartwarming book, and it made me hungry every step of the way. There was pastries, there were lattes, there were cozy love stories. There were just all these wonderful things that worked together to make a wonderful book. And oh man, I'm there for it all the way. And I hope you will check out Legends and Lattes as well. All right, and coming in at number 4 is Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir. This was such a great book. I am so glad I got to read this book this year. It was a book that I was challenged to read by my daughter. It's one of her favorite books. And I wanted to read more Andy Weir because I just love The Martian. So I'm all about this book. I highly recommend Project Hail Mary. It just has so many things that just work perfectly in it, and the relationship between the two main characters as it builds over time, just such a beautiful friendship, and I just absolutely loved it. It was so great. And so yeah, I hope you'll check this out. Alright guys, so now we are getting into my top 3. Are you ready? Here we go. The first of those, coming in at number 3, is Empire of the Vampire by Jay Kristoff. Wow, guys, I love me some good vampires, and there were some seriously well-written vampires in this book. The action was intense, the world building was just out of this world. I loved the setting and the way he subverted some of the typical vampire tropes. It was just excellently done, and I absolutely fell in love with so many of the characters. They were just so well written. I can't help but put this in my top 10, and it fits perfectly at number 3. So if you have not read Empire of the Vampire, you are missing out. You need to pick yourself up a copy and read it so that you are ready when book 2 releases in 2024. I know I will be waiting for it. The question is, will you? Alright guys, so coming in at number 2 is The Animal by Chad Nicholas. Chad has fast become one of my favorite authors. He's a self-published author, but the quality that he puts out, I have never seen the like of. Just the attention to detail in his stories, the even down to the design of his covers. It's just some awesome designs on the covers. They all kind of follow this motif where it's the black on a white background or inverted on the naked hardcover. It's just a beautiful book, and the story is just crafted so well. This is a slasher novel, so if you like horror, you definitely need to be checking out Chad Nicholas because he's got some great stuff. But The Animal is his best book yet. I could not find any flaws with this book, guys. I couldn't. I just want more from Chad Nicholas. That's what I want. Chad, if you're watching this, you need to get me more because I'm itching for more. Just like I was with Dresden, I'm itching for more of Chad Nicholas. And this is a fantastic book, guys. It's extremely well plotted. It's well paced. The action just flows seamlessly, and it gives you that gripping sense of terror all along the way. And the twists and turns in this book, this guy is the king of the plot twist. I mean, you think you know what's going on, you don't, because he's just going to take you for a ride in a whole new direction that perfectly makes sense, by the way, after you read that twist. But you didn't see it coming. It's just such an amazing book. I highly, highly recommend The Animal by Chad Nicholas. All right, guys. Are you ready? Drum roll. Drum roll. Drum roll, please. The final book on this list, coming in at number 1, my best book of the year for 2023 is Scythe by Neil Shusterman. This was such a magnificent book. It's a far future sci-fi utopia. It's a world where death has become eradicated, but in order to control the population, they have to figure out some way to reduce the population by permanently ending people. And it is just a fantastic read. The concept is something I have never heard the likes of before. Just a completely original concept in my experience, and the characters just blew me away. The story pacing was just phenomenal. I just couldn't get enough of this story. I'm going to be hopefully finishing the trilogy in 2024, and I just can't wait. It is just absolutely brilliant. And I've heard Neil Shusterman is an author that has a lot of stuff like this. So I'm probably going to end up reading more Neil Shusterman after I finish this trilogy. But guys, if you have not picked up Scythe, don't let the fact that it's a YA book deter you. Please, don't let that deter you. It is a fantastic read for young adults and adults alike. So pick it up. You will be super glad that you did. My number 1 book for 2023. And wow, guys, I was just blown away. So there you have it. That is my top 10 list of books for 2023. Let me know in the comments what some of your favorite books of the year were. Give me your full top 10 if you want to, or you can do a top 5. You can do a top 20 if you want to. I'll sit there and I'll read it. It may take me a while to read through your comment, but I'll do it if you need to give me top 20. It's totally fine. I would really, really appreciate having that conversation with you. And I just want to say, guys, because this is going to be my last video of 2023, I wish you guys a smashing end to the year and an amazing new year to come. Thank you so much for tuning in, supporting my channel, and being part of this wonderful community known as BookTube. I appreciate you. Happy New Year, and I will see you soon.